I wonder if you heard of the World Naked Bike Ride. If not, you can probably guess what it is. It happens annually all over the world, including in London, actually. And the organisers describe it as a popular, peaceful, legal public protest. So they say the point is to draw attention to all important causes like the global dependency on oil, car culture, and the vulnerability of cyclists on city streets and so on. And I actually bumped into it myself one day. I was coming out of a hotel in London. I'm just going to look for this clip here on our system. I thought I had the clip here. Maybe I don't. And it was basically, I walked out of a hotel into the street and the all these naked bikers were passing. And, hey, bear with me. I'm just going to find this. Okay, right. Here we go. You can hear me now reacting to this sight in front of me of naked men and women on bicycles. Okay, this is unusual. Right, yeah! Well done to this gentleman here. God, nothing left to the imagination. Wow. I didn't expect to see that. And I was happy sort of waiting to cross the road. As surprising as it may seem, this mass display of nudity is not technically illegal. UK law says that being naked in public is not an offence unless there is intent to cause alarm or distress. But not everyone sees it as harmless fun. Emma Jane Taylor, a child safeguarding campaigner who we'll speak to shortly, has raised concerns because she said there is a child safeguarding issue here. And she has shared stories on social media from families who felt uncomfortable. One reported seeing a man who seemed aroused by the roadside. It's a strange thing to be aroused by. But so what do you think? Have you ever taken part in a naked bike ride? Do you see it as cheeky, a harmless protest, a way of challenging the dominance of cars? Or do you think, no, we do not need that amount wobbling on a road? Do get in touch with your comments. Text us 88291. Send us a WhatsApp message 08000 288 291 or email vine@bbc.co.uk with your phone number. So Emma Jane Taylor joins us, child safeguarding campaigner. You don't like the look and the sound of it, Emma?
I don't, Jeremy, at all. It just doesn't feel safe, and I don't want to keep silent about it. Too many people keep silent about it. They don't want to talk about these things, and they just get bigger and bigger and become more of a problem. And as you've already referenced there, the reasons of the exposure law, there's such grey areas here in the UK on exposure, and that's just not strong enough or good enough for child protection, in my opinion. So you see in it the not just the fact of nakedness, but you see something almost malevolent there, do you? That they're up to no good. Well, maybe they're not, but maybe they are. And how do you know? No one's monitoring this event. You don't have an application process. You don't know who these people are. You don't know if they've got exposure cases against them already. And as you've already alluded to, unless you are intending to cause someone harm by exposing yourself, it's not a case to answer. But how do you know that? How do you know that? Like you say, someone had contacted me to say there was someone by the side of the road with their bike and they were aroused. Were they aroused and part of the event? Were they aroused and sinister? Who knows? No one knows. And so the event to me has become a big issue for child protection here in the UK. And there's so many questions going around my head all the time. Who organise it? The local council, the authorities, the police. Where's their safeguarding procedures? Where's their policies? Where's their risk assessment on this? You know, if you're exposing yourself for one day a year, does that mean you can go and get your coffee naked? Can you go to the public toilets naked? What about the children in these places? You know, we spend our life helping children understand what's right and wrong. You know, there's parental guidance for nudity in films, but with this event, there's none. And so, you know, it's contradictory in every way. Okay, all right. That's a very interesting point of view. So Michael Fabricant is the former Conservative MP. Michael, you've taken part in naked bike rides. How would you respond?
Well, I've only suggested that we have one naked bike ride in Lichfield. I haven't actually taken part in naked bike rides. But, you know, these are very organised events. They happen in the UK, in London, Birmingham and Cardiff, 28 cities around the world, 10 countries around the world. And, you know, these aren't just random events. These are just a bit of fun, actually. And if you're going to use the argument, well, who's actually checking on the people that they aren't perverts, you could say the same thing about any demonstration. Gay pride. Would you ban that because not everybody is vetted? Or demonstrations for Palestine? You know, do you vet that? I mean, come on. Look, these are fairly innocent events. If you don't want to see bits and pieces wobbling around, don't look. They happened with marshals and police controlling them. It's an organised event, you know, and I think it's just a little bit of fun. And when I promoted it for Lichfield, it was to raise money for the St Giles Hospice in Whittington near Lichfield. And I think it's all good and it's all, you know, a little bit of enjoyment.
Emma?
Why does it have to be naked? I mean, what fun is that for families walking around London with their children seeing this because adults want to have a bit of fun? I don't get it. Maybe there are people innocently doing this, but by putting this event on, you are green-lighting more sinister conversations for offenders who are exposing, and that puts a huge risk on child protection. And we're allowing that in the UK. I mean, and like you say, around the world. There's actually 35 countries, I believe, around the world doing this. But that's huge, right? I'm only just hearing about this, and I'm sure most of your listeners haven't heard of this either.
Emma, have you actually seen one of these rides?
I've got no interest in seeing one of these rides. I've seen enough
then why do you
online.
think that kids are going to be suddenly surprised by it when it's a fully organised event and a whole, you know, hundreds of people taking part in it? It really is not sort of one guy being aroused randomly going somewhere where they might approach children. It doesn't work like that.
Did you get naked and go on your bike and go around town?
No,
well, I'll be honest with you. I was doing it for a video for TV.
No, but would you go naked
and I had
on your
tiny little
bike?
shorts on because otherwise I'd have been arrested.
Why would you have been arrested? This is a legal day to get exposed. Why would you have been arrested? I don't understand
Well, because I wasn't doing it as an organised event. I was doing it as a charity thing and on my own. But this is a properly organised event with marshals and police there to protect everyone.
How do you know that everybody there is doing this for the right reasons? But let's not lose track of the focus of my campaigning. Child protection is serious. We are exposing naked adults.
What else would you ban then?
Written to help children. We got books written to help children understand about body and nakedness. None of it includes being naked in public. We are desensitising children to nakedness, making it much easier for predators to groom and abuse children, and that is my issue.
Thank you very much, Emma. Jane Taylor, child safeguarding campaigner, and Sir Michael Fabricant, former Conservative MP. Oh, that was interesting. Talking about world naked bike rides.